What's up, brothers? Felt appropriate to call you all that as we are now in the 10th episode of the show, and it feels like we are all brothers now after going through all the experiences of the show and the things that these men went through. Had a lot of highs and had some very low lows, especially last episode. Had to take a few more moments than usual to kind of wind down from those events before I start this next episode here, just because it was so heavy and so emotionally impactful. But I am now ready to hop into the last episode of the show. Not sure what to expect, as I mentioned at the end and the beginning of last video, but hoping that we get more of a look at the soldiers in those present day interviews, maybe find out who each of them is, and maybe get one last surprise cast introduction in this one. Last episode we had a pretty massive one with Tom Hardy hopping onto the scene, which was fantastic. I wonder how much he had done before that, because I don't know if I've ever seen him younger than that. But I also just wanted to thank all of you guys who have joined me for the Band of Brothers ride. It's been fantastic. Definitely a phenomenal show. One of, if not the best produced show that I've ever watched. Just the sheer scale and size of everything that they've accomplished is mind-blowing. I thought Saving Private Ryan, and of course I still think Saving Private Ryan, is a masterpiece, and the fact that they were able to replicate so much of the phenomenal effects and scenes that I got the feeling of in that is just really impressive, especially for the fact that they've done it over so many episodes and we're much longer along in a runtime than we were with that movie. So definitely been great to kind of dive deep into this world and see things from their perspective of the soldiers and of Easy Company, and glad that you guys could be here along for the ride. And if this is going to be your last video on the Patreon and you were just here along for Band of Brothers, glad that you could be here. Appreciate your support, glad that you could share this experience with me. And if you would like to stick around, we will be doing The Boys next. That is the next show we will be doing, if any of you did not realize. And so of course would love to see you stick around for that, but if not, I am glad to have had you along for this. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the last episode of Band of Brothers.
It was more than 3 years since Lewis Nixon and I decided to join the paratroops, and more than a year since we'd first gone to war. I certainly didn't expect to find myself at a place like this.
Well, I certainly didn't expect to see him in normal clothes. Are they out of the war now, or is he just taking a break?
What is that? Ran into the regimental photographer. Said he had all these photographs of the 506 going all the way back to Toccoa. I traded them for a couple of Lugers.
Hey, that's pretty awesome. It'll be cool to take a trip down memory lane with these guys.
What do you think you'll do after this? I get some breakfast.
The way that it's all been filmed and everything, it feels like you've been through some of these experiences with them, just because of how real and heavy a lot of the things have felt.
Well, it's funny you should mention it, because I had a meeting with Colonel Sink.
Really?
Yeah, discussed the possibility of staying.
In the Army?
Yeah, as a career.
Oh, wow, dang, man. Winters is certainly excellent at what he does, one of the best, at least in the show. So if anyone would be able to make a good career of it, it'd definitely be him.
There's a company in Nixon, New Jersey. Oddly enough, I know the owners.
Are you offering me a job?
We'll see how you do in your interview. Man of your qualifications, I think probably scrape something up.
Oh, I love this interaction, man. This is great. Brothers in the war, brothers for life. That'd be pretty awesome if they stay partners after the war.
We'd entered Bavaria with the hopes of capturing Berchtesgaden. This famous town high in the Alps was the Nazi Party's symbolic home, and all the heads of the Third Reich had houses there.
Oh, wow. That's pretty significant right there.
To make it their last stand from which to mount a guerrilla resistance against the Allied advance. The first step was blocking the roads.
Dang, that is going to take forever to clear. They did a pretty good job at keeping people from crossing.
This is the one town you can't deny being a true Nazi.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to be to live here. Need to find some place we can put the colonel. How about right there?
Is it going to be the big capital where Hitler stayed? Holy crap, man. That's insane. I did not think we'd be seeing this place in the show. Just got an eerie feeling already about it. Whew, that is going to be an important list, man. Probably find a few significant names on there.
Wow.
Dude got out of there so freaking fast. Don't blame him, though, because he'd be a dead man otherwise.
Easy, you'll head up the mountain through the Obersalzberg and take the Eagle's Nest.
Shoot, bro, they are going all the way. I didn't think that they would be doing that. I thought it was just going to be more of them being behind the scenes.
The Eagle's Nest was a surprise birthday present for Hitler, built with Nazi party money. A mountaintop stone retreat, 8,000 feet up, accessible by a gold-plated elevator.
Whoa, jeez. That sounds like some straight medieval stuff, besides the elevator, of course. This is an impressive set, too. I'm sure it's a replica, but I haven't seen the place. I'm willing to bet, though, that they did it almost to a T. That's not Hitler, is it? I couldn't tell for sure because it didn't look like he had the infamous mustache. If it was, then I am shocked. I never expected to see him in the show, especially just his dead body is still laying there.
From court, just came in, effective immediately. You ready for it? Listen up. German army surrendered.
They're done. Fantastic. Let's go. It's about dang time it's official. It's going to be the best news these guys have gotten in 3 years.
What is this place? Hermann Goering's house? We discovered it yesterday. Had it on double guard ever since.
I can vouch for that, sir.
Oh, anxious to get off duty, O'Keefe.
Is Goering the one who was like his right-hand man, Hitler's? If it is, I think I saw a movie about him specifically recently. Holy cow, that place is massive. Nix is finally gonna have every drink he could ever want.
10,000 bottles of the world's finest liquor, wine, and champagne helped Easy Company mark the day the war in Europe came to an end.
Oh, he finally got what he was searching for.
Happy VE Day.
Yeah,
VE Day?
victory in Europe.
Fantastic day right there, man. Been waiting so long for that.
Instead of an aggressive combat unit, we became an occupation force. And no one wanted to leave Berchtesgaden until they saw Austria.
Oh, that is beautiful, man. Holy cow. That's like the most green I've seen in the entire show. That's a welcome sight.
The war is over!
They're pretty happy to see those three ladies. I can definitely see why they did what they did last episode and made it so heavy and haunting, because it feels like this episode is going to be mostly positive things, or at least a huge sense of relief with everything being over officially.
Please accept this as my formal surrender, Major. It is better than to lay it on the desk of a clerk.
You may keep your sidearm, Colonel.
Oh wow, I did not expect to hear that. Winters is great at dealing with people both on his side and now on the German side. Definitely the makings of someone who could be a great career army man, as he was talking about in the beginning.
Some of them will have enough points to go home instead.
Not many. Their only medal's Purple Heart.
I think most of us here will have enough. And each of us will have to decide what to do. I don't know how long we're waiting here for orders.
That's interesting. I didn't know that that was the system in the military, where you had a point system, and if you got enough, you could go home.
Seems they want me to stay around a while. You serious?
How many points you need?
15.
Jesus Christ, I thought I had it bad.
No Purple Hearts, never was injured.
Just did his job right and still doesn't have enough. That's insane.
General Taylor is aware that many veterans still do not have the 85 points required to be discharged. He has authorized a lottery to send one man home in each company, effective immediately.
Holy cow, man. That is going to be weird to see who it is.
Serial number 130-66266, Sergeant Darrell C. Powers.
Shifty, well deserved. That's awesome. Just talking about how he didn't have enough points. He certainly earned that ticket home.
Unfortunately, the truck was hit head-on. Shifty had a broken pelvis, a broken arm, and a bad concussion. He survived, but had to spend the next few months in a series of hospitals.
Oh gosh, I thought they were gonna say he died. That would be awful. That sucks though. Gets sent home and then just immediately gets a serious injury.
You didn't tell him?
No, I couldn't get him to shut up.
Tell me what?
Guts and Glory here applied for a transfer.
13th Airborne are heading out for the Pacific right away.
Whoa, he's just going straight back into it.
Are you in on this too?
I can't let him go by himself. He doesn't know where it is.
Oh, the ultimate duo. I love it. Those are some incredibly brave men right there to be through all the events of the war in this show and then to continue on with more.
Major, I took this meeting out of respect for your achievements and for the 101st. If they do go to the Pacific eventually, you should be running one of the battalions. And frankly, I think you men have earned the right to keep you around.
I respect that decision, man. Seems like the smart move. Keep him with his brothers, but send him out to the war when he's needed.
Sie sind der Kommandant.
Welcher Kommandant?
Vom Arbeitslager. No?
Sie haben die falsche Person. No? Sie täuschen sich. Nein! Nein!
Don't, dude. That's not the right move, I feel like. But then again, I don't really know the whole situation because I couldn't understand all the German, obviously. Just thought he might have been acting a little bit rash.
Shoot him. Shoot him!
No.
Oh man, what happened right there? Very interesting to see Webster refuse, though.
Oh, Jesus.
No way. Did he just die right there on something as trivial as that?
It's Private Janovic.
He was dead when they brought him in.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking upsetting. For it to be something as insignificant as that is just heartbreaking.
You okay, Matt? You need some help? They wouldn't give me any gas.
Oh no, dude. This guy just murdered somebody in cold freaking blood. They gotta get these boys out of here. It's not doing any good keeping them in this condition. At least this specific soldier.
Hold on a second now, right?
No way, bro. This man just killed his own man or whatever, compadre, whatever you want to call it. That's so freaking angering, dude.
Is him?
That's him.
Man is gonna dance with the absolute most brutal person in the squad.
Where's the weapon? What weapon? When you talk to an officer, you say, sir.
Yes, Spears, go after this man. No sympathy for him. Dang, bro, that's a freaking tense moment right there. That was huge for Spears because everyone in that room had heard stories about him and probably thought that he would kill him without a second thought. But the fact that he spared him is pretty massive.
I know Easy Company's going to need a commanding officer post-war. I mean, it's absolutely irresponsible to leave them in the hands of the wrong person.
So you've decided to stay in the Army?
Yes, I'm going to stay with the men.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Spears, you absolute freaking legend. They're freaking lucky to have him at their command.
And your driver will drop you off at a hotel of your choice. I don't think we'll see you back here anytime soon.
I won't let you down, sir.
It's cool for the most part, though, to see a lot of people going where they're kind of meant to be or where they fit best.
You've given me the choice as to where to reassign you, and I thought battalion headquarters might be a good place.
I can think of a few better, sir.
Lipton's definitely one of the characters I really like in this as well, especially after all the great things he did in Bastogne.
With your permission, I would like to address my men briefly.
That'll be fine, General.
Oh, what the heck? Sobel is back. I did not expect to see him again.
Captain Sobel?
Major Winters?
Captain Sobel. We salute the rank, not the man.
Holy cow. That was a satisfying moment right there. Sobel started off such a freaking tough guy.
Ihr habt tapfer und stolz für euer Vaterland gekämpft.
You fought bravely, proudly for your country.
Ihr seid eine ganz besondere Truppe.
You are a special group.
Oh, this is a very interesting way to do this scene from the perspective of the German soldiers, but every word that he's saying can apply to Easy Company too.
Held each other in dire moments.
Ich bin stolz, mit euch gedient zu haben.
I'm proud to have served with each and every one of you.
Fantastic dialogue right there. And I'd agree with every one of those lines directed at our guys as well.
You awake yet?
Wake.
Time to go to bed.
I love it, man. That a boy Nixon get in on the action. Awesome to see him kind of turn around a bit after his low point in the last episode.
But Compton came back to see the company to let us know that he was all right.
Yes, my guy. What a boss.
He convicted Sirhan Sirhan in the murder of Robert Kennedy and was later appointed to the California Court of Appeals.
Oh, dang, that's awesome.
David Webster became a writer for the Saturday Evening Post and Wall Street Journal, and later wrote a book about sharks. In 1961, he went out on the ocean alone and was never seen again.
Oh, dang, not the ending I was expecting for him. Cool that he was able to do some literary stuff, though.
Johnny Martin would return to his job at the railroad and then start his own construction company. He splits his time between Arizona and a place in Montana.
Love this, man. Getting to know all the things that these guys are doing in the present day.
Doc Rowe died in Louisiana in 1998. He'd been a construction contractor.
Doc Rowe, absolute legend. Bless that man.
Bull Ranneman was one of the best soldiers I ever had. He went into the earth-moving business in Arkansas. He's still there.
Yeah, man, don't forget about Bull. This man survived behind enemy lines. Nothing no one else can say.
Carwood Lipton became a glass-making executive in charge of factories all over the world. He has a nice life in North Carolina.
Leader in battle, leader outside of battle. I love it.
Ronald Spears stayed in the Army, served in Korea. In 1958, returned to Germany as governor of Spandau Prison. He retired a lieutenant colonel.
Spears, what an absolute boss, man. I'm glad that he survived through it all.
For Easy Company, it was D-Day plus 434.
This morning, President Truman received the unconditional surrender from the Japanese. War's over.
Best news ever, man. Seem like words we'd never hear for a while.
Lewis Nixon had some tough times after the war. Then in 1956, he married a woman named Grace, and everything came together for him. My friend Lou died in 1995.
No, man. I don't know why, but Nixon's description hit me emotionally all of a sudden. Maybe it was everything building up.
There is not a day that goes by that I do not think of the men I served with, and never got to enjoy the world without war.
Beautiful dialogue. I love that.
It's a very unusual happening.
We were a close-knit group.
So brave, it's unbelievable.
I'm proud to be a part of it.
I lost all that confidence.
We was hoping to stay alive, that's all.
I knew I was gonna get hit hard at the end of this emotionally. I was trying to hold off as long as I could.
A question my grandson asked me the other day. He said, Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? Grandpa said, no, but I served in a company of heroes.
Just beautiful, man. That was a phenomenal finish and close to it. So glad that they used those interviews at the end instead of the beginning this time. Definitely the perfect bookend for the show, and glad that we finally got some names for those people that were interviewed. That's too bad that it seems like a few of them died just before this show was made, so they wouldn't be there for the interviews. But man, every single one of those men that show depicts are heroes. Show definitely makes me appreciate them more than I'd already appreciated soldiers in that war, specifically these people who I didn't really know about beforehand. Does a great job at giving you a look into what they went through. Hope they feel appreciated for all that they do. I wonder how many of the soldiers actually watched this series. It might be kind of like Saving Private Ryan in that it would be too difficult for them to sit through it. It might bring back too many dark memories, especially if people that they know die in the show, but at least it's here to give all of us a look into it as well. Obviously, none of us will know what they went through, but it's definitely a good start into getting a decent idea. Oh, but man, yeah, that was a great last episode. Glad that they kind of gave us a long period of time there to kind of unwind, because the way that the show just kind of beat you up a little bit emotionally throughout and was just super heavy and dark for so much of the time. I think it was definitely needed to kind of give you that relief. But man, definitely fantastic show. Well, I'm so glad I got to share these past 10 episodes of Band of Brothers with you all. Definitely a fantastic experience. Sucks you in right from the first episode and just immerses you in that war and that environment, and obviously into the real life characters that it's portraying. And from a filmmaking standpoint, this show is just a technical marvel. What they were able to pull off for 10 straight episodes consistently is just mind-blowing, especially for a TV show. Never quite seen production quality at this level for something like that, especially for such a prolonged amount of time. And so I can see why it's so highly regarded and talked about in such a positive light by everybody, and of course why you all voted for me to check this one out as well. For it being only 10 episodes, it still feels like I've completed a super long journey, and obviously it's just been 2 episodes a week that we've been going through, but it really feels like an epic experience with what they give you. All the narrative and cinematic choices just really take your mind to another place. So definitely loved it on all fronts, and looking forward to potentially checking out the Pacific someday as well, because I know that is kind of connected closely with Band of Brothers. And as I mentioned, I'm not sure if it continues on with any of the same characters. I would assume not, but who's to say? I guess when I check it out eventually I would find out. But I hope you guys had a great time watching along with me, whether you were watching along in the series for the first time or rewatching. I was super glad to have you along for the ride. Doing reactions and stuff to shows and movies, I feel like has enhanced my viewing a lot, because I feel like I'm even more engaged than I would be normally. And so especially with this, I definitely feel like I got a lot more out of it than had I just eventually checked it out on my own. But I hope to see you all in future series, future movies, and I look forward to seeing you all then. And so until then, peace.